Okay. So, typically it's best not to resort to character assassination, and to be somewhat calm, cool, and collected about, let's say one's frenemies. But in this case, I'm going to have a little bit of fun and see if we can just do a little bit of digging. So, this is Soviet Klaec, or however you pronounce it. It's probably some really beautiful pronunciation that I haven't figured out yet. And this nation has been on for about as long as I have. My main nation's about 8 billion. And as you will notice, is that they don't have a fact book. I'm pretty confident that is not ad hominem or character assassination. Now, I'm going to give you an example of a 14-year-old who is called Willyberg. That's his nation's name. He has a personal name, which I don't think he gave me permission to discuss on the internet. But he leads a small little alliance in a pretty significant region. He's 14. Let's see if he has a fact book. Yep, he's got a fact book. Now, let's do a little bit of digging and see how much of this is about the military. Fair amount of military structure. This looks very impressive. Let's go to this one right here. Let's see if he has some decent divisions. Oh, what do you know? He has multiple kinds, and they are different from one another, and one of them is based off of the Soviets, and a couple of them need to be updated because they're a little bit incorrect. But that's not his fault, that's my fault, because I got my numbers from 3 senior RPers, and their numbers were a little bit off. It happens. But his numbers are very, very spot on. You see, there's a degree of organization. You'll notice he only has 3 tanks, and they're very different from one another, and he has limited amounts of all 3 of them. And they all have completely different roles, for him at least. So, you know, he has a pretty reasonable military. And remember, this is a active player who isn't really that active, and he's only 14 or 15 at this point. So he's already outdoing this guy who claims to, I don't know, be in the military. You know, if that's the case, thank you for your service, but just because you can do one thing out there really good doesn't mean you're any good on the internet. It probably means the exact opposite, honestly. Unless you're good at both like I am, but you know, that just happens. So let's go down and see what he got. Squad-based tactics, okay. Take one of those. Perhaps it's good. Let's scroll down to where I come in. Let's see how I met this guy. Oop, computer fans trying to be loud. Can everybody see this? Yeah, I think you can. Okay. So, ooh, I'm arrogant and self-righteous. This is probably gonna be fun. Let's see if we can go through this. Let's start with his most recent RP. 28 troops and 4 vehicles. With IFVs and light mortars? How did he deploy only a couple IFVs and nothing else? Like, did he paratroop them in? I don't think IFVs are heavy. No, they're too light. Wow. IFVs, they're too heavy for that. I'm not even sure what to think. Like, are these like BMD4s or whatever? BMD3s, 2s, 1s? I don't know what he's doing. I'm flabbergasted. I'll admit it, I was caught completely off guard. Let's see what his first thing was. Oh yeah, it was a research program, back when I was a lot less experienced. That was, dark days. Very, very dark days. I'm glad those days are over. Very glad those days are over. But, you know, that's what happens when... That was, like, 4 years ago, so that's, like, the difference between being adult and not being adult. And then some. Okay. So, we can tell in 4 years he hasn't made a lot of progress, and I've made some degree of progress. So let's see what he had to say about me. He just jumped into a thread he wasn't even involved in. He just started talking about me. So I said that a unmanned ground vehicle, basically a drone, did not have a grenade launcher on it, because in real life, the vehicle did not have a grenade launcher on it. I also said that there was no way it could survive certain types of shots, because, you know, the technology has to move that far. It was like he had the weapon from Call of Duty MW3 in the RP. It was a little ridiculous. I don't know, I just wasn't up for that at that moment. So he says, because you find folks, meant literally, now as a derogatory term as it is usually applied. Well, see, when I say fine folks, I actually mean it, but I don't know, lower class people can say what they want. I'm arrogant, I'm ignorant, and I'm self-righteous. Why am I self-righteous? This guy's never RP'd with me. Ever. We competed on a research project, that was it. Like, what's his problem? We used to argue back and forth, but that was because he was really obsessed about cartridges, and what was an assault rifle, and what was a battle rifle, and he would be very, very technical about it, and use terms that are super ancient, and not really that well documented in my opinion, but, you know, he can do whatever he wants, it's not a big deal, I should just let that slide. But, okay, so inspect his forum posts and past RPs, and he is a play-to-winner, and will do anything he can, regardless of reality, to turn the tide in his favor. Rule number 1, I actually have only won so many RPs. Most of them come out to draws because the other side starts throwing a fit and tries to nuke me. Or they just, you know, they get married, they have kids, it happens. I don't exactly play to win. I play to have fun. Well, people play chess to win. But I don't exactly, like, throw the chessboard at people if I lose. Like, people play chess to win, but they also play chess to play chess. So, I mean, if I get defeated, I hope it's by a really good opponent, and if it's not, then they're probably cheating? I don't know, I never really faced somebody, except for very recently, who's actually tough enough to be, like, my equal. Unless, we go back a couple years when I was still learning. I mean, I've been reading pretty much non-stop the past 2, 3, 4 years, and that's really made a difference. But back then, I had no idea what I was doing, so pretty much anyone could best me. Yeah. So currently, I'm in the middle of a very large RP war, and I'm not quite sure who's going to win, who's going to lose. So let's see what I said all those years ago. And by years ago, I mean like 1 year ago. I honestly thought this was like 2 or 3 years ago. It must... Wow. Things happen really fast. So I said, that's a lie. The reality is that every RP I've ever been in had their players quit. Okay, that's still true. Because they were losing, or the RP mentors wouldn't let them god mod. That happened actually 3 or 4 times. I had to pull in RP mentors to look things over. And most of the time, they would say that some other person shouldn't nuke me. Oh, yeah, and I said, why exactly he hates me, I'll never know. I don't understand why he hates me either. I don't know what his problem is. And yet, we still didn't RP against each other. Yeah, this is like exactly what I said a year ago in this video. Yeah, can we be rational? There's certain things that haven't been invented yet. Can we just admit you can't smuggle in enough poison into a city to kill millions of people and not get caught? Yeah, this is the same stuff that happens in my current region every now and then. Most of the time what happens, everybody gets really upset because it ruins the experience and makes the whole game a lot less fun. So, let's wrap this up since there's like no material here. There's not really anything to go over because he doesn't really do anything. I mean, yeah. I think the video's over. This is kind of lame. I mean, I was hoping, you know, he's going to have, like, a really long war post, and it would be, like, either really, really good or, like, kind of awful. I could just dissect it. But there's, like, nothing here. Except for him trying to deploy a couple IFVs by themselves, somehow. Not quite sure he did that. That's... maybe, I don't know, maybe they're the airborne ones. I don't know. It just, I wasn't impressed. And also, he's quoting Theodore Roosevelt, but he's playing a communist nation. I don't know if he's being sarcastic, or he's just, like, trying to play, like, a fun role. But that's just plain weird. So, I think we can wrap this up right here. I think we're done. That was really boring, actually.